Hello, students. Today we are going to start chapter 21, our goals, rights, and duties. So, chapter 21 we will discuss about our goals, rights, and duties. India became free on 15th August 1947, means India became independent country on 15th August 1947. To frame a constitution. Frame means to make up or draw up the constitution. Constitution are the written set of rules and regulation that guides how to govern the country or how the country is governed. So constitution is written set of rules and regulation that we all have to follow. So India became independent on 15th August 1947. To frame the constitution means to make the constitution, a constituent assembly was formed. Constituent Assembly consists of the elected members which were assembled for drafting a constitution, means for writing a constitution they were assembled. For that, Constituent Assembly was formed. Understanding. To frame the constitution means to make up the constitution, to draw up the constitution, a constituent assembly was formed. Constituent assembly means elected members which were assembled for drafting a constitution, means for writing a constitution, making of the constitution. Our constitution was enforced on, means it was made effective on 26 January 1950. It came into force on 26 January 1950. In our constitution, our goals, rights, duties of the peoples are written. I told you na, constitution is written set of rules and regulations that we all have to follow. So, constitution defines your goals, rights and duties. In the introduction to the constitution, introduction means the first page of the constitution, that is preamble. This is the first page of your constitution that we call preamble. In this it is written, we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure all its citizens justice, social, economics and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of an individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, we adopt, enact and give to ourselves thus constitution. So it is the first page of constitution which gives us the introduction about the constitution, that what is written in that. You see, these words are written sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Now we are going to discuss this. Our constitution was made effective on 26 January 1950. It was made on, means it was made till 26 November 1949. Okay, the Constituent Assembly made the constitution till 26th November 1949, but it came into force on 26 January 1950. Okay, so in the introduction to the constitution, it is written that India is a sovereign, socialist, secular and democratic republic. So we'll understand what is the meaning of the word sovereign. Means that India is a free country. We are not having any foreign control on us. It is the master of its own destiny. India is a free country. It is the master of its own destiny. No other country can impose its will upon us. Means we are free from any foreign control. No foreign country is controlling us. India is a free country. We are master of our own destiny. No other country can impose their will on us. Word socialist means that all citizens are equal in the eyes of law. We all are equal in the eyes of law. We all will get equal opportunities, okay, to move forward. There will be equal opportunities for all to move forward. That is the meaning of the socialist. Government will not make any difference between the people of caste, religion or economic status. So I told you na, socialist means that we all are equal in the eyes of law. Everybody will get equal chance. Opportunities means equal chance to move forward. The government does not make any discrimination on the basis of caste, religion, or economic status. There is no difference on these three bases in our country. Everybody is treated equally. Secular means that all religions are equal. We respect all religions in India. Every person is free to follow his or her own religion. Democratic means people choose the representatives who form and run the government. Representative means the leaders who people choose, who form and run the government. That is the democratic. Every person whose age is 18 years above, they have the right to vote. Abraham Lincoln, he defined democracy as government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Abraham Lincoln defined that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Republic means head of state is elected. Republic means the head of the state is elected, means we do voting for them. Head of the state is what? President. We done in the previous chapter. Head of the state here means the country. Okay. Here the state word means the country. Head of the country is the president. So we have done what is the meaning of the word sovereign. India is a free country. No foreign control on us. Socialist, everybody is equal in the eyes of law. Everybody will get equal opportunity, means equal chances. Nobody is discriminated on the basis of caste, religion, or economic status. Discriminated means that no differences between the people of different caste, religion, or economic status. We not make any difference between any caste, religion, and economic status. We all treat them equally. Secular means all religions are equal. There is no official religion of our country. Everyone is free to follow their own religion. Democratic means we choose our leaders who form and run the government. Every person whose age is 18 years or above, they have right to vote. Republic means the head of the state is elected. Head of the state means the country is your president. Now, the fundamental rights. The Constitution has laid down certain fundamental rights for the citizens. There are 7 fundamental rights. Remember how many? 7. Right to equality. Everybody is equal. Right to freedom. What kind of freedom is given? Freedom of speech and expression. You are free to speak anything, express your views about anything. Freedom of assembly. You can assemble anywhere. Okay. Freedom to form association means you can form associations like trade unions are there. Any kind of association you can form, means a group kind. Freedom of movement, you can move from one place to another. Nobody will say anything to you. Freedom of residence and settlement, you can settle anywhere in the country. Nobody will stop you. Freedom of profession, you can follow any profession like doctor, lawyer, engineer, any occupation you can do, any trade or business you can do. You are free to do all such things. So, right to equality, everybody is equal. Right to freedom means freedom of assembly. You can assemble anywhere. Freedom of speech and expression, you can express your views. You can give the speech anywhere. Freedom to form association, you can form the association. Association means group of people. Freedom of movement, you can move freely in the country. Freedom of residence and settlement, you can settle anywhere, make your residence anywhere in the country. Freedom of profession, you can follow any profession, doctor, lawyer, engineer, teacher, any occupation, any trade or business activity. Freedom to means right to freedom of religion. You can follow any religion. Okay. In India, there is no official religion. So people are free to follow any religion. Right against exploitation. If any person is being exploited by any other person, exploited means that somebody is taking unfair advantage of you, then you can tell it to the police, okay, or you can file the case against him in the court. So there is a right against exploitation. If somebody is taking unfair advantage of you, then you can approach to court and you can go to police station and complain about this. Cultural and educational rights, okay, means different cultures are followed in India. Educational rights are also given to the people here, means we are free. The government of India is providing free and compulsory education for children up to the age of 14 years. This is in right to education also. Right to constitutional remedies means if anyone is stopping you to follow the fundamental rights, you can approach to court. If anybody is saying you that this fundamental right you cannot follow, then you can approach to court. If you are denied means you have been stopped to follow any fundamental right, then you can go to court and file case against the person. Right to education for children between the age of 6 to 14 years. Compulsory education is given by the government. If anyone feels that he or she has been denied the fundamental rights, denied means that they have been denied, मना कर दी गई है, to follow the fundamental rights, he or she can approach the court. If anyone feels that he or she has been denied, means they have been stopped to follow the fundamental rights, then they can approach the court. As we know, the rights and duties, they go hand in hand. These are your fundamental rights. Everybody is equal in the eyes of law. You are free to speak anything. Right against exploitation. If somebody is exploiting you, you can file the case against him. You are free to follow any religion. Okay? This is cultural and educational rights. Right to constitutional remedies. If anyone denies fundamental right, you can approach to court. Right to get education. For children between age of 6 to 14 years, they'll get compulsory education. We have certain fundamental duties towards the country, the society, and our fellow citizens. So we have certain fundamental duties also towards our country, towards our society, towards our citizens who are living in India. Fellow citizens means the citizens who are living in India. So the fundamental duties are mentioned in our constitution are to abide by the constitution. Abide means to accept. We have to follow whatsoever is written in our constitution. And respect our national flag and national anthem. This is compulsory. To cherish and follow the noble ideas which inspired our national struggle for freedom. Okay, we should cherish those ideas or follow those noble ideas, good ideas which inspire us for our national struggle for freedom. The people who did national struggle for freedom, those ideas or the ideals we should follow. We should cherish them, appreciate them. To protect the sovereignty. Sovereignty, I told you, na, India is a free country. To protect our sovereignty, that no foreign rule should be there on us. Like Britishers, earlier they were there, na? They ruled over India. So to protect the sovereignty, that India is a free country, no foreign control is there on us. Unity and integrity of India. Integrity means quality of being honest. You should be honest towards your country. To defend the country, to protect your country. To promote the spirit of common brotherhood means that we all live peacefully here in India. All the people of India will live peacefully, and there should be spirit of common brotherhood, that we all are one only. To preserve the rich heritage. The heritage is being transferred to us from our generation to generation from our great grandfathers. So we should preserve them. We should protect it. Okay. We are having composite culture. Different kinds of cultures are there in India, but we all are one. So to preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. There are different types of cultures in India. You all know this thing. Different religions are there in India. Different cultures are there in India. We should protect the rich heritage of different cultures which are there in India. Means to protect different cultures which are there in India. Because those cultures are being the rich heritage of India. Heritage, you know, na? The practices or beliefs that is being transferred from one generation to another. To protect and improve the natural environment, we should improve our natural environment. To develop the scientific temper. Scientific temper means that in everything, logic and reality should be there. Okay. To develop the logic and reality in everything, that is scientific temper. And spirit of inquiry. Spirit of inquiry means that you can raise question about anything. You can challenge the old practices which were followed by the people, like sati pratha, untouchability. You can challenge those practices. It is a problem solving approach. So that is the spirit of inquiry. To safeguard the public property, you should protect the public property, which is the property of the government. To strive means to make efforts towards the excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity. Means to make efforts towards the excellent in every spheres of individual and collective activity. Means we should be excellence in every sphere of individual and collective activity. Parents, guardians, they should provide opportunities, they should provide chance for education of children or their ward between the age of 6 to 14 years. Right to education, it is the last fundamental right also and fundamental duty also, that free compulsory education should be provided to the children up to the age of 14 years. Directive principles. Our constitution has laid down some important principles for the government to follow. These are called directive principles. Principles means a set of rules and regulations. So our constitution has also laid down some principles, means some rules, regulations for the government to follow. These are called directive principles that is to be followed. Like the government should provide better living condition to all the citizens of the country. Okay. Second, they should provide work for all the men and women in the country. Nobody should be unemployed. Ensure that no one becomes rich by exploiting other. Okay. First is better living conditions for all. Working for all men and women in the country. No one become rich by exploiting the other. Exploiting, no? Taking unfair advantage of others, somebody is becoming rich. No, it is not allowed. Government should provide free and compulsory education for children up to the age of 14 years. The government should improve the conditions of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and the weaker section of the society. So, government should do some steps for the upliftment of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and weaker sections of the society. So, these are the directive principles. Star facts: Indian Constitution is the lengthiest constitution written in the world. So, Indian Constitution, it is the lengthiest constitution written in the world. Recapitulation: when was our constitution enforced? Second question: how many fundamental rights are there? Question number 3: what is the meaning of the word secular? Question number 4: what are the directive principles? So this was your chapter number 21, our goals, rights and duties. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.